What's good, all my friends? Welcome back to the MMA Forever YouTube channel. Today we're going to be breaking down my prediction for every single UFC champion by the end of next year, the end of 2027. A long way away. Help me out here, guys. I'm having about 3 unique viewers per video, so smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. That would be great. Some cunt said my audio was trash, so hopefully we've fixed the echo for you boys and girls. Let's get right into it. Crank that posture up, starting at the heavyweight division. As you can see on the screen, my prediction is going to be one, call me a casual, Josh Hockett. Bit strange indeed. Here's my prediction for how the heavyweight division is going to play out. Alright, so we've got Ciryl Gane right now as interim champ after he fouled and destroyed my boy Alex Pereira. I'm still very sad about that fight. And that's a whole nother video. Deeply depressing, having seen Alex Pereira get fouled, elbowed in the back of the head numerous occasions on the biggest stage when he should have been triple champ and should have achieved groundbreaking milestones on the White House lawn. But it's okay. It's okay. Ciryl Gane is our interim champ. I believe Ciryl Gane is new and improved. This is not the same Ciryl Gane that we saw against John Jones. This is a new, improved Ciryl Bongamin Gane. I think he is going to beat Tom Aspinall. Listen, when you see Tom Aspinall, I'm a big Tom Aspinall fan, right? When you see Tom Aspinall on the feet, it's goofy, it's sloppy. He keeps his big, annoying looking chin in the air. That man needs to get a new barber, by the way. That facial hair is atrocious. Aside from that, he keeps his chin in the air. He keeps his chin in the air and he gets clipped. He's got an iron chin. He's a big guy. He's like 250 pounds. Those guys can take a shot, pause. But the reality is, when you're fighting a guy like Ciryl Gane, he's not got the best power. We know he's not the craziest power puncher, though. We've seen time and time again that the Pereira fight is a bit of an anomaly, so to speak. We've seen time and time again Ciryl needs to put combinations together in order to beat guys. And even against Pereira, he dropped him with the jab, but Pereira was straight back up. So the power of Gane for a heavyweight is not, it's not blowing you away, so to speak. We saw in the first fight, he had his nose bloodied up. It was a close first round. And you're casual if you think Gane was just destroying him. But he was doing his thing. And he was slowly slipping away. The nose was getting bloodied. Again, Gane's not a guy that's going to put you away with one shot. He's going to take multiple combinations. And he was seeming to avoid Aspinall's big shots. Aspinall's really just a big puncher. He's not got the best technique. He's very light on his feet. He's very fast. He's got a quick 1-2. But he keeps his chin in the air. And that chin is primed. It's primed for Gane to just jab, do his thing, dance around, move around, very quick. He used to play basketball, explains a lot. He's a natural athlete. I think Gane's going to beat Aspinall, and then guess what's going to happen? Josh Hockett is going to out-wrestle Ciryl Gane and whoop his ass. Ciryl Gane is going to get wrestle-fucked by Josh Hockett. I know that sounds crazy. You're saying, if Aspinall can't take Gane down, how the hell is Josh Hockett going to take him down? I don't think Aspinall's going to be shooting many takedowns. And his takedown entries aren't that good. His jiu-jitsu is good. His takedown entries aren't that good. Hot take. So I think Ciryl Gane is going to be undisputed champ. He's going to try and defend the belt, maybe in Paris. And Josh Hockett is going to get the heavyweight belt. Moving on to the light heavyweight division. The current champ is one Carlos Ulberg. Do I see Ulberg having a long reign at light heavyweight? Not particularly. I think he's 36, right? He's 36. He's an older champion. He's coming off a big injury. People forget an ACL tear. People forget, man. An ACL tear is fucking legit. Look at Dominic Cruz. Look at Cruz, man. I mean, obviously he had a tear multiple times throughout his career, but he was never really the same. And he went on to win a belt again, demonstrate his greatness. But an ACL tear is a legit, serious, career-altering injury. And I think Jamal Hill's going to be champ at light heavyweight. No. I think we're going to see Carlos Ulberg come back, defend the belt. I think Pereira's going to stay at heavyweight. I think we're going to see one Carlos Ulberg defense. and I think it's going to be against one Paulo Costa or Khalil Rountree, and I'm going to be leaning towards Khalil Rountree. After Khalil beats Magomed Ankalaev, Khalil Rountree is going to be in line for the title shot against Carlos Ulberg, and I think Khalil Rountree is going to get it done. I think Khalil's finally going to realize gold, and I think Carlos Ulberg is finished. As much as I like the guy, I'm one of his 3 fans out here in New Zealand. As much as I like Carlos Ulberg, Khalil Rountree is going to be too much. Precision striking, leg kicks to the damaged leg. He's going to do it. And then, we're going to see maybe a Yuri rematch, and I don't know who's going to get that done, but I think by the end of 2027, we're going to see Khalil Rountree as the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Moving on to the middleweight division. Middleweight's in a bit of an interesting spot. It's one of those divisions where we had a legendary run from Adesanya. We had many title defenses. We had a dominant champ moving towards GOAT status, and then the GOAT curse of MMA kicked in, and he lost to Pereira, came back, managed to get the belt back, and then went ahead and lost to Strickland, and has been on a bit of a downfall since. And, obviously Adesanya's not going to recapture it. We've had the belt change hands a few times since then. Strickland to Duplessis to Hamza, now back to Strickland. Do I see Strickland becoming champ, or staying champ rather, until the end of 2027? It's a tricky question. I think I've said this for the longest time. Brendan Allen is a dark horse, but then I saw him, lose a split or win a split decision against an unranked guy, and he just looked shit and sloppy on the feet. And Brendan Allen is a very average fighter. I don't see him capturing gold. Caio Baralho, again, he's kind of shit. He lost to Imavov. Imavov's the most forgettable number 1 contender in the history of the UFC, maybe outside of Movsar Evloev. He's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. I think they're going to run the winner of Kamaru Usman versus Dricus Duplessis, and the winner of that is going to be Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is going to become the middleweight champ. There I said it. Kamaru Usman, old man Marty Snoozman, at 38 years old, is going to go ahead and beat Dricus Duplessis. He's going to wrestle him. He's going to lay on top of him. He might even submit him. He's not much of a submission artist, old Usman, but I think he's going to do it. He's going to show that lighter man's skill. He's going to dance on Dricus. I'm going to dance on your head, yeah? He's going to take Dricus down. He's going to wrestle him to a decision after Conor McGregor whoops Max Holloway. And then we're going to see Kamaru Usman. Dricus Duplessis is going to be off crying in South Africa, my friend. Dricus Duplessis is done. We're never going to see him again. All his fake fans that hopped on a bandwagon, Dricus by falling piano, blah, 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 blah. Dricus is done for. He's never going to sniff a belt ever again. It was a fluke submission against Adesanya. Adesanya was winning that fight. Strickland beat him the first time as well, by the way. Dricus is a fraud. Dricus is a scam. Fuck Dricus, quite frankly. Dricus can go fight Brendan Allen. Who cares? Dricus is done. Kamaru Usman is here. Second wind incoming. We just saw Justin Gaethje beat Ili Abturo Tabturo. Anything is possible. Kamaru is going to beat Dricus, and Kamaru is going to go ahead. And Kamaru is going to go ahead and beat Sean Strickland. I think styles make fights. Strickland, fair play. Strickland defended the takedowns of Hamza, but Kamaru is a different beast. He's got striking, he's got cardio, he's old, his knees are cooked, but I think he's got the athleticism, he's got the strength, he's got even the power to shut down a Sean Strickland. And listen, I see these things. Sean Strickland stands with an extremely upright stance. I think Hamza could have easily beaten Sean Strickland if it wasn't thanks to the weight cut. Yes, that's a legitimate excuse. If you think that's fake, if you think that's cope, you're just bullshit, and you're probably a racist Dagestani hater, quite frankly, because Hamza is levels above Sean Strickland, and he should have won that fight. If it wasn't thanks to the weight cut, if it wasn't thanks to the numerous amounts of time that bloke has had COVID-19 and has fucked up his immune system, Khamzat Chimaev is a danger to the UFC. but he got nerfed, and we don't need to think about him. Kamaru Usman is going to win the belt, and he's going to rematch Hamza, and Hamza will win. But by the end of 2027, Usman will be champ, and then maybe in 28 we'll see a Hamza resurgence. Moving down to the welterweight division. The welterweight division is one of the most exciting divisions in the UFC right now. You've got so many contenders, and you've got a guy named Ian Gary fighting for the belt. Do I think Ian Gary is going to beat Islam Makhachev? Of course I don't. You really think Ian Gary is going to beat Islam? Islam is levels above Ian Gary. The only thing Ian Gary has on Islam is height. And do you know what that does to Islam? It makes it easier for Islam to take him down. Islam's only ever really struggled against Volkanovski and Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, when he fought him, Islam had staff. Volkanovski is a short guy, so he's harder to take him down. And Volkanovski's one of the most skillful pound-for-pound fighters of all time. And he fought Volk in his prime, and he beat Volk 4-1. I used to be a Volk Copa. I used to say Volk won that fight. If you go back and watch that fight without any bias, Volkanovski lost that fight. And then obviously the second fight is what it is. A sad day to be a Volk fan. Nonetheless, Islam is one of the most skilled fighters in the UFC. He is the current GOAT of the UFC, and I think he becomes the undisputed GOAT of the UFC. Fuck John Jones, quite frankly. He becomes the undisputed GOAT of the UFC if he defends his welterweight belt, which he will against Ian Gary. And there I said it. Islam Makhachev is going to be the UFC welterweight champ by the end of 2027. I think he's going to beat Gary, and I think he's going to defend against Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is a comparably easy fight compared to Ian Gary, because we saw JDM take him down. JDM is not much of a whiz on the ground. He's going to defend against Carlos Prates, who got taken down by JDM. Come on, bro. Islam is champ. Islam is levels above. We are witnessing a goated run in the UFC. Like I said, he's only ever struggled against Volk, who's a completely different style fighter to Ian Gary, who's just a tall, rangy counter striker who, quite frankly, is shit. He just rises to the level of his opponents, so he's going to make it somewhat close against Islam, but he's not going to be able to do shit. This guy started when he was 15, 16 years old after taking a photo with Conor McGregor in a dairy. Fair enough. It's a commendable story. It's an inspiring one. Ian Gary ain't got what it takes, man. Islam's been in the fucking woods wrestling bears, having crazy, crazy training sessions. Listen, call me a glazer. I'm not an Islam fan. I do not sit down and watch Islam Makhachev interviews for fun. He's not a particularly exciting personality. But you put the bias aside, he's one of the most dangerous, he's one of the most well-rounded UFC fighters of all time. And we are witnessing one of the most legendary runs in UFC history. He's on a 15 fight win streak. He's about to break Anderson Silva's record. Put some respect on his name. The one, the only Islam Makhachev will be champ at welterweight. Moving down to the lightweight division, where crazy things have happened, man. Justin Gaethje is champ. So you guys be calling me delusional for saying Khalil Roundtree will be champ? Really? Really? You think Josh Hockett being champ is more unlikely than Justin Gaethje being UFC lightweight champ? Cut me some slack here, mate. I'm betting on this, mate. And trust me, I'm going to make a lot of money betting on this. So, lightweight champ, Justin Gaethje, he's not going to be champ. Quillan Salkild is going to be champ. Quillan Salkild's title run starts today. Quillan Salkild is going to beat Matus Gamrot. He's going to knock him out in the first round. He's going to beat the loser of BSD versus Paddy, which is going to be BSD. He's going to knock BSD out. He's going to get his title shot against the winner of Justin Gaethje and Arman Tsarukyan. Ilya's going to be out for a long time. You know, he was out for a long time when he wasn't injured, so he's going to be out for an even longer time when he is. Don't let the photos fool you. He is fucked. That boy is messed up. That boy is messed up. The eye is fucked. The toe is fucked. My foot was a balloon. I woke up, I had a sore shoulder. I threw it. I'm like, what the fuck? Ilya is cooked. Ilya is done. He's not coming back anytime soon. Justin Gaethje's going to fight Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan's going to win. Quillan Salkild is going to go ahead, knock out Arman Tsarukyan. Quillan Salkild will be UFC champ by the end of 2027. This is not cope. This is not glaze. I have my reasons. If we break down Quillan Salkild's fight, he's knocked out every single person he's ever fought. But he's never fought a high level of competition. Sometimes I just have a feeling in my gut. And that feeling is present with Quillan Salkild. There's something special about this guy. The aura, the fight style, the technique. He's young. He's improving. He's the man. I love him. Let's move on. Quillan Salkild is going to be lightweight champ. Mark my words. Put some money on it. Moving on, featherweight division, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. By 2027, he is going to be a permanent line chef, making YouTube videos. He's not going to be fighting in the UFC anymore, and that is because Gene Silva put him to sleep. I think to beat Alexander Volkanovski, you're not going to out-IQ this guy. We saw against Diego Lopez. You need a guy that's extremely hard at punching and kicking and elbowing and everything under the sun. You're going to need a guy to throw the kitchen sink at him, and he's going to get dropped. We saw in the first Diego Lopez fight, he got dropped. We saw in the second one, he's an extremely high IQ fighter. He made the necessary adjustments, and he got the W. But I do believe that a guy like Gene Silva is a complete nightmare matchup for him. They're the same height. Gene Silva's younger. He's faster. He's probably fitter. I think Volk defends the belt against Movzar, which is a relatively easy defense for him. And then I'd like to see him get a free defense against Alger, but you already know the UFC is not going to show any love to Alger Lame Sterling, the bum. So Alger is not going to get a title shot. Gene Silva's going to get one. Diego's going to have to move up to lightweight because he's not getting a third crack at that belt. He might move down after Gene Silva's got the belt back, but that's a whole different story. Gene Silva is going to beat Volkanovski. It's going to be a sad day, and I think Volk will retire after the Gene Silva loss because it's going to be brutal and it's going to be vicious. We see Volk's chin. The chin does not come back, okay? The chin does not come back. He's had a bit of a fraudulent second run at featherweight, and that pains me to say it because Volk's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But he's had a bit of a fraudulent run at featherweight. A fraudulent run because the real champ is gone, mate. The real champ is not there. Ili Abturo Tabturo, if he didn't choose to chase greatness and chase the Charles Oliveira fight, chase the second belt, Volk is not champ. Volk is not champ. Volk won a vacant belt against a two-dimensional power puncher who he could dance around the outside against in Diego Lopez. It's a very impressive win. Diego Lopez is young, he's fast, he's powerful. He's a great fighter, but he's not championship level one. And if it wasn't thanks to Ilya moving up, Volk is not champing it. Volk is not champing it. So I see Volkanovski beating Movzar. It makes his legacy look even better. And then he loses to Gene. He's still a legend. He's still a GOAT of the sport. And Gene Silva is going to be champ by the end of 2027. Mark my words. Moving on down to Bantamweight. The Bantamweight division. We already know we're going to see Sugar Sean O'Malley with that belt. Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to get that belt. It's going to be beautiful. He's going to beat Peter Yan. I am sick and tired of people saying, that Sean lost that fight to Peter Yan. I'm sick and tired of it. If you score the fight by damage, and if you just even look at their faces after the fight, Peter Yan was cooked. If that was a 5-round fight, Sean would have got the fucking TKO. All right? And this was a younger Sean who was not as good as he is today. We see Sean O'Malley have these close decisions with the best guys in the world. Of course, he's not going to TKO Peter Yan in 3 rounds, all right? He can do it in 5, sure. But 3 rounds, when he's ranked number 12, with all the pressure on him, and he still gets the decision win, and people are crying about it, people need to put some respect on Sean O'Malley's name. He beat Peter Yan. He beat fucking Song Yadong, who's a dangerous fighter. We just saw him guillotine Davidson Figueiredo. He beat those guys. He's beat the best in the world. He almost TKO'd Merab. That first Merab fight is extremely close. If you go back and watch it, you could almost score that fight a draw based on damage. People don't show O'Malley the respect because they think he's an industry plant. Fair play. His star power is somewhat manufactured. He's not the most impressive. He's not the most charismatic on the mic. But in the octagon, he is a fucking dangerous fighter. He's a dangerous man. We've seen what it looks like when you put him in there against lesser competition. He just knocks those cunts out. Ayman Zahabi, knocked out. Second round. Easy. Salutes on him. Aura farming at the White House. Easy money. You know, we see him against these guys. We see him against Eddie Wineland. We see him against the kid with the dyed hair. He just absolutely styles on them. So people expect that all the time. And you can't expect that when you're fighting top 5 guys in the world. You can't expect it to be a complete easy cakewalk. This is fighting. This is one of the hardest sports in the world. So I think people get it confused a little bit. They see him crushing these cans and they think he's just going to have to do that. And any fight that isn't him completely dominating is a loss to people. So Merab is done. Peter Yan, his days are numbered. And Umar can go fight David Martinez for all I care. Umar Nurmagomedov is a bum. Any man who gets dropped by Mario Bautista is not a man who can win a UFC title. Sean O'Malley is going to go ahead and he's going to TKO Peter Yan. And he's going to beat Merab in the rematch. I think Merab, this is a bit of a side note, I think Merab is cooked. I think his nose is fucked. I think he's never going to be the same fighter ever again because activity, look, he does a lot of things wrong. He doesn't warm up before he fights or before he trains. And before he fights, he fights 5 hard rounds, no headgear. Like, he does a lot of shit that is just bad. When he cuts weight, he just stops eating and drinking. Like, he doesn't have a nutritionist. He does all this stuff wrong, and the body can only take so much. Finally, the flyweight division. Who's the champ? Manel, Starboy, Cap. I see Manel with those D cups, with those double D cups, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Those breasts that he is growing are looking like Adesanya. He's looking like prime Adesanya out there with the gyno that he has got going on. Manel Cap is going to beat Joshua Van. He's going to beat everyone else. I think Joshua Van, one of my favorite fucking fighters in the UFC right now. But he's undersized. There's no atomweight division. You know, he can't go down to 115. If there was a 115-pound division, he could probably cut down to 115. You know, he's not cutting that much weight. He's a small guy. And quite frankly, that is going to play against him, against pretty much any power puncher in that division. In any case, you have guys that can hit hard. And even Kai Kara France, if he comes back from the Marai or wherever he's at on his spiritual break, if he comes back, I think he could give Josh Van a run for his money. To beat Joshua Van, you need to be a power puncher. We've seen him put away by Charles Jordan. You know, we've seen him put away before. We've seen him be knocked out. And when you're when you put Josh Van against a guy who's a power puncher, you see him crumple. When you put him up against a guy who's a volume puncher, like Brandon Royval, he can do exceptionally well. But against power punchers, Van is in danger. And I think we're going to see a Manel Cap reign at flyweight, which is going to be interesting, you know, because the real champ of the UFC flyweight division is going to be the guy who got cut. It's going to be the guy who got cut. And I can't even remember his name. And I'm not even going to pause the video to look it up because he's not worth remembering. But it's the bloke who got cut, one of those Dagestani blokes. He's the real champ. But he's not coming back, so who cares? Fuck him. Manel Cap, UFC flyweight champ. There we have it. There's my rundown. Those are the UFC champs by the end of 2027. Like and subscribe. I'll see you boys later. Peace.